Hello, welcome to Irish Football Fan TV. We're back again in Umbro headquarters and we're here for the 2022 Umbro Ireland new away kit. As you can see behind us here, I'm joined by Jonathan Courtenay and he's going to give us the lowdown on the design. There's obviously a female one as well, so talk us through it.
Yeah, thanks for coming up again. Obviously you can see the shirt here beside us. We've gone with a popsicle orange, as we've called it. It's the first time in 25 years since we've had an orange away kit, so we thought it was a good time with the anniversary / centenary of the association to really maximise the colours of the national flag and bring back a strong, bold kit. So, as I said, the Macedonia and Mexico games that we wore the orange kit against in 1997, it's the 25th anniversary of those next year. So we thought it'd be suitable to bring that design, or not design, but colourway back for the away kit for the coming season.
Yeah, I always like the way you tie in the anniversaries or something. Obviously we had the centenary, which actually, funny enough, at the start a lot of people were complaining about, but now they turned their heads on. I would say the same thing will probably happen with this till it's worn. I think jerseys are hard to kind of get a feel for them when you just see them on, say, a mannequin or just like an average fan. When you see it on a team wearing, and maybe it's a team getting their first win or like the blue one was, that was a really comprehensive victory. And that'll stick with people. That blue jersey we wore, we should always wear that because we won with it.
It is funny. I mean, results obviously affect the way people feel about certain things, and like I'm not a big one for superstitions or anything like that. And I don't think just because you wore a certain colour, you got a certain result. But I mean, it does certainly sticks in people's mind. Like, I mean, the funny thing is, like, everybody remembers the Macedonia game, for example, where we wore the orange, and now they probably remember it more for Jason McAteer's flying kung fu kick, possibly than the result. But it does stick in your head. Stuff like that sticks in your head. Those moments stick in your head. And obviously, as we said, with the centenary blue kit, went down absolutely brilliantly once people had seen it on the field by half time. For example, the night against Qatar, there was no adults men's left. So it just shows you how instantly something can take off once people see it in the flesh, so to speak. As I always say, tease images or pictures online or whatever it may be, whatever you see, I always say wait and see it in the shops when you touch and feel it, because things are obviously always different to the way they look. But I mean, there's a colour story here. It's a brave colour to go with. Some people would say I think it's a third of our national flag. I don't buy into the politicising of colours or football or bits and pieces. I don't think politics and sport should have any kind of overlap, so to speak, and that's kind of a FIFA and UEFA directive. But I think people will either like it, or people should, in my opinion, like it or not like it based on the design rather than what they may interpret a colour stands for. This is a third of our national flag, and I'm always proud to throw on, throw the orange in. We use it all the time in terms of the home shirt and the away shirt in the trims. So why not? Like, I mean, once every 25 years, why not throw it out there as the main colour?
Well, sure, it's even on the badge over there on the old FAI crest there. It's just probably the most popular crest as well. Yeah,
well, I mean, it's as I said, like it's probably underutilized as a colour in our kind of colour palette of what we use, and I think, as I said, some people kind of are afraid of it for some reason. It's a bit of a taboo, but it shouldn't be. It's just a colour. I mean, people, as I said, overthink these things sometimes, in my opinion. So look, we've done what we think is a really strong kit. Delighted to say that it will be worn against Luxembourg on Sunday week, which is brilliant. So it'll be seen very, very quickly. It goes on sale on today, Friday the 5th. And then it'll get a debut against Luxembourg in the final World Cup qualifier in a couple of weeks. So I think when people see it on field and see the whole kit together, and again, out of context, I said, when even you have to see the socks, you have to see somebody wearing it to get that full effect. But I think it's a very striking design, very bold design, and it's trimmed obviously with black and what we call Bosphorus green, which is a kind of nearly a teal type green. But all in all, I think it looks really well when you bring in the spray paint effect onto the sleeves and onto the shorts and see the full visual. I think it's a very strong kit.
I think that ties in with some of the training range as well. It's kind of like that with the print on it as well.
Yeah. We try and obviously have a theme running through each year or each season, if you like, of product. So you'll always see kind of cues and nods, whether it's through colour or whether it's through a design part or whether it's through a taping, whatever it is. That theme will run through for a year and a half maybe before you kind of pivot and go in a different direction. So this all falls very much in with the kit design that's been for the last little while. There's obviously a men's version and a women's version. The women's version obviously is tapered to a women's cut, but also has a different neckline. It has a triangular insert, a kind of a slightly more open neck than the men's, whereas men's is more traditional round neck, rib effect. So they have their own little subtle differences, and I'm looking forward to seeing them on field.
Yeah, well, I think as well you do take into the fact the numbering as well is always one that kind of makes the jersey stand out that bit more as well. So obviously when the numbering goes on it and you have the versus whoever it is,
you get the match details on, and you get obviously the sleeve badges and all that from a player's point of view. It obviously looks that bit more official or whatever it is, if you like, when you see it on field. So I think on this we're going to go with black numbers. And obviously then white numbers onto the shorts. So I think it's quite it'll be quite impactful when you see the whole kit, together on field and all the details added in as well. So as I said, I'm really looking forward to seeing it against Luxembourg. I think it'll be very visual. We kind of, we say things like internally when you're looking at a design process, you want to include like the 12th man, which is the fans. And, how do you make people... green is not a brilliant colour, believe it or not, for kind of standing out in the crowd. It doesn't pop like, Brazil yellow in the crowd. You see it everywhere. Orange for Holland. You would see it everywhere. So we wanted to have something for fans that when we're highly impactful on the pitch and very visible on the pitch, but also where you can identify the fans who are wearing it in the stand. So that was one of the elements that we kind of looked at designing when we wanted to do this. So high impact. It's not a neon orange. It's not the fluo kind of orange that we did in the kit in 1997, but it's not far off. Oranges, I feel, they have to be quite bright and vibrant, or else you're kind of heading towards a browny beige kind of colour, which that's not going to look great under any circumstances. So we went with the vibrant, or we call it popsicle orange this time, and as I said, trimmed with black and phosphorus green. Yeah,
well, I think if you actually look at the old orange kit, where obviously we had a Macedonia, the t-shirt came out of it. If you were the worst trainer, that came out for any of the younger viewers who may not know. But that was obviously around for a number of years. I think it was under Jack. I don't think it came in when Mick was there the first time around. But anyway, but that jersey seems to be making a comeback now. Anyway, like these retro trends.
Yeah, like there's a lot of. I mean, there's a big graph for people now picking up older shirts on eBay or wherever, for example. So I know that orange shirt kind of, if you can find one, I think that's they're like 200, 250, maybe 300 quid now. So there's a scarcity, certainly, of the orange. It's one when it comes up, you see a lot of people bidding for them and stuff like that. So there's a big we probably saw it in the Euros and stuff as well in the UK there during the summer, where you would have seen a huge amount of the England fans not wearing the current kit, but going back to numerous Umbro kits from 96, from 1990, even all those kind of things. So there's definitely a big movement towards that 1990s vibe and history vibes in terms of, I suppose, I don't know, I think it's a fashion trend rather than anything else. But I mean, people have been on lockdown and stuff for 18 months, 24 months, probably harping back and thinking about old school, better days and stuff like that. Maybe there's a bit of that in it, psychology. But I think there's definitely a fashion trend towards that kind of 90s product, which has been around for a few years. But it's those old kits are certainly in big demand these days if you can find one.
Yeah, 100%. Well, obviously with the kit, we'll be hoping that it has the same impact that the Centenary jersey had against Luxembourg, and we can say to people we had a Luxembourg rather than a Macedonia.
Absolutely, we'd be very happy to for Stephen and the lads to get another win in the new kit on Sunday week. Hopefully we get a win against Portugal before that in the home game. Obviously, we'll be wearing green in that. But looking forward to, from a kit point of view, certainly looking forward to seeing the guys run out on that on the following Sunday and hoping for a win again.
Absolutely. Well, 100% that is, and thanks for walking us through the whole design and the feature behind it, and look forward to seeing the players wearing it. And obviously, if you want to get it, it's available in Elvery's for the 5th of November. So check it out online, and huge thanks to Jonathan as well for going through it all. Don't forget to like the video, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll speak to you soon. Take care.